Today is February 5th, 2020. My name is Evelyn. I'm in Shenyang, China, 1,131 miles from Wuhan, where the novel coronavirus broke out. I was born and raised in Shenyang, but I'm not supposed to be here. I was supposed to be on a flight to Chicago to go back to my apartment, my boyfriend, my job, my friends, my life. Now I don't know when I'll make it back. My life is 6,000 miles away and I don't know if it'll wait for me to go back. But I can't keep thinking about it. Okay, it might not necessarily be that dramatic, but basically my original travel back to Chicago has been delayed due to the travel ban because of the coronavirus, and I am trapped in China indefinitely. I thought you guys might be curious what everyday life is like in China with the coronavirus outbreak, so I'm making this video to show you guys that. I have barely been out of the house for the past more than 10 days since the virus broke out. So the virus broke out on the 20th, and these are the steps I've been taking since that day. The Chinese government's main measure for containing the virus is to limit human-to-human contact by encouraging people to stay in. But people don't need a lot of encouraging because everyone's scared to go outside anyways. I'm going outside to get a package. They recommend wearing a mask every time you go out. At first they were saying surgical masks are the only kind that's actually effective against the coronavirus, but nowadays those masks are so completely out of stock, there's no point in even trying to look for them. And I've been hearing on the news lately that unless you are going to a place where the virus is concentrated, like the hospital, you don't need a proper surgical mask. In fact, you might not even need to wear a mask every single time you go out. Fortunately, one of my relatives actually sells masks for a living, so he sent us hundreds of masks. Those are just regular anti-smog masks with curious prints, but a mask is better than no mask at all. I haven't been outside of these gates for a solid 10 days. Oh, hi! It's a lot busier outside than I thought. There are a lot of restaurants and shops around my neighborhood, and most of them are closed. A lot of restaurants are closed because of Chinese New Year, but this one, for example, they said they will come back on January 31st, but it's still locked up and there's a notice from the government about the coronavirus. Usually if I see a restaurant close, I just walk by and not think too much about it. But because my return is delayed, I have to take unpaid leave from my job. And that's when I realized behind every closed business, there's someone worried about how to pay their rent, how to pay for their expenses and support their family. It's not a light feeling. And it's not just in Shenyang. Inside Wuhan, the situation is a lot worse. I've heard that lots of farmers are actually losing their entire year's income because they don't have an avenue to ship out their produce. All the fruits and vegetables are just rotting right now, and a lot of livestock are dying because there's not a lot of food supply for them. For those farmers, if they lose the animals, it's like their entire livelihood gone. My life is impacted by the coronavirus, but I'm still incredibly lucky compared to all of those people who are literally just losing their means of survival. It's very easy to just listen to news like the coronavirus, and it's hard to grasp the actual gravity of this. But when you look at the everyday people in the epicenter of the coronavirus, some of them died. Some of them lost family members. Some of them had their livelihood destroyed. I wish there's a better way for me to express that everything that you're seeing on the news is real, and it's everyday people in Wuhan who are carrying the weight of all of this tragedy. Back in Shenyang, there seems to be a lot more normalcy in life, or at least so it seems. This produce store is open for business, and there's a lot of business. I definitely didn't expect them to be so well stocked with a huge variety of products. 这件生意觉得是好的还是不好？
般吧，人不密集。
来的人都戴口罩。
对。
那上货呢？现在有没有就是上货困难啊？
没有，还不受影响。
价钱也不受影响吗？我听说之前白菜涨价了。
对，那个不是因为我那个往武汉运嘛，
但是现在就
都已经平稳了。
现在看人还是可以的。
还行吧，就那也是有的都不出来了，就是受这影响的。他有的买多了就放家里几天不出来。
So we've seen businesses like restaurants and the travel industry that are taking a hit because of coronavirus. There are other businesses like the produce store that are pretty much running business as usual. But there's definitely another type of business that are making a profit out of the coronavirus, or let's say because of the coronavirus. This is one of the 3 pharmacies on my block, and all 3 of them are open. Right here, this sign says mask, none. Alcohol, none. Lysol, none. 84 disinfecting solution, none. Out of stock. Other than literally all antivirus supplies being completely out of stock, this pharmacy seems pretty stocked up and there are a lot of customers. 从什么时候开始口罩什么的短货？
这还真没注意。
没注意。
基本上有的补货能来，然后就有，不补货就没有。
那过年这几天就是药房一直都开吗？
对，咱们一直都开。对，我们一直都开。
So I didn't get to ask a lot of questions at the pharmacies. I don't want anyone filming. And I think the main reason for that is recently pharmacies have been driving up prices quite a lot for the hot commodities like alcohol and masks. I heard that the regular masks that sell for like 1 or 2 RMB, once their prices were hiked up to like 40, but still it's out of stock everywhere and people are expecting more supplies to come in when the factories go back into production. But still right now you can see some people are wearing N95 masks or surgical masks, but a lot of other people like me were just wearing regular masks that are not really made for preventing virus. Do you still remember why I risked my life to go outside? Well, I didn't either. So I'm getting my package now at this locker. I live in a gated community, and since the virus got serious, they no longer permit package or food delivery to go inside. So now all the deliveries are handled through these locker boxes. Wait, I'm not allowed to step inside until my mom sprays me with disinfecting alcohol to her satisfaction. So before disinfecting alcohol got all hot and unavailable, my parents got 3 buckets of this stuff. I was feeling a little under the water, under the weather one day when the virus first broke out. I was so scared. I was like, I want to quarantine myself. No one comes inside my room. My mom got scared too. She went to the pharmacy and lined up. There were a shit ton of people at the pharmacy at that time because the government just released the news. Okay, like the coronavirus is getting serious. So she fought for the last 3 buckets of this. Okay, to be honest, being trapped at home for this past month and quite possibly a few more months in the future has been the most wholesome thing that happened to me since I left home for school about 8 years ago. Has it been 8 years? I went to the US for senior year of high school and then college. Now I work in Chicago, and ever since then, every time I came home, I had only stayed for like no more than 2 weeks because it's always like, oh, I gotta hustle, there's so much to be done, I gotta like get back at it. But this time is really the only time ever that I just stayed back. I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but it feels like the difference between being home this time and all the times before is that I really have no alternative other than being home. Like, I have nowhere else to be. So I'm here this time. I was not thinking about anything else because if you really think about it, my entire life is on hold and it's just better not to think about it. My mom spends hours in the kitchen to make 3 wholesome meals for me every day. I've been on a road for work for a year and a half, and these meals are a luxury. We sit together and eat. For someone who doesn't even own a dining table, this counts as a special occasion. We also have afternoon tea every single day, traditional Chinese style. We watch movies and occasionally have a sunflower seed eating competition. Bye! My parents never say it, but they miss me. They've been missing me for 8 years.
那爸，我要是回不去美国怎么办呀？
在家更好，因为我们全家在一起是世界上最美好的事情。
So this is life under the coronavirus outbreak. It's just like any Sunday. We get up, we eat, we go to the grocery store, get a package. We just put on a mask before we go out, but we do that every day anyways. We try our best to make it look like a normal Sunday because we all need some excuses to forget there's a deadly virus spreading. Businesses shut down. Livelihood destroyed. Life's passing. But when I look back at this time, I remember what a precious time I had with family. The laughters, the tea, the movies, the food, and the sunflower seeds. My life may be on hold, but I can always come home. Alright, that's all the cheesy narratives I had for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about what life in China is like under the coronavirus, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you're trapped like me and feel like your life is up in the air, I'm right there with you. I'm making YouTube videos to keep myself occupied. I hope you find your own way to keep yourself busy as well. Don't forget to check out my other videos about food and China, and please subscribe. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Bye. 武汉加油